This is the Mopio Modern Light Gray Futon Sofa Bed, and it sits in that small space, multi-purpose furniture category. It is for people like me who want one piece that can handle everyday lounging and also cover you when someone stays over. If you live in an apartment, a studio, a guest room, a home office that occasionally becomes a sleep space, or even a dorm-style setup, this is the kind of couch that makes sense because it does not dominate the room, but it still feels like real furniture. Right away, the look is what pulled me in. The light gray fabric reads more like a soft off-white or cream in a lot of lighting, and that matters because it blends with more spaces than a darker gray. In my room, it picks up whatever is around it. Warmer lights make it look creamier, cooler daylight makes it look more gray. The fabric itself feels soft when you run your hand across it, and it does not feel scratchy or cheap. I was honestly expecting it to feel a little stiff, like some futons do, but it has that smoother, more inviting texture that makes you want to sit down. The overall design leans mid-century modern, mostly because of the wooden legs and the simple, clean shape. What I like about that is it does not look like a temporary piece. It looks intentional. The legs also give it a bit of lift off the floor, so the room feels more open, and it is easier to clean around. I can get a vacuum in there without doing that annoying shuffle of pushing the couch around. Build-wise, mine arrived in solid condition. No tears, no weird stains, no obvious defects that I could see. The seams looked straight, and the fabric was pulled tight enough that it did not look wrinkled or saggy out of the box. Over time, I have noticed that it holds its shape pretty well for the way I use it, and I do sit in the same spot a lot, so that is usually where you start seeing issues. Setup was refreshingly simple. I am used to furniture builds that turn into a full evening project, but this one felt more like a quick reset of your room. The legs screw in easily by hand, and I did not need to go hunting for tools. It was more like, take it out, line things up, and get it standing. From a real-life perspective, that matters because you can actually do this alone without stressing about it, and you can get from box to couch fast enough that it does not ruin your day. As a couch, the comfort is better than I expected from something that also converts into a bed. The seat has a soft, cushiony feel, but it does not swallow you. It is more supportive than a super plush sofa, and I think that is the point, because it needs to function as a sleeping surface too. When I sit back, it supports my lower back well enough that I can watch a movie without constantly shifting around. The seat depth works for me because I can sit normally, then also pull my legs up without feeling like I am about to slide off. The backrest is comfortable, but if you are the type of person who likes a very tall back to rest your head, you will probably want a pillow behind you. I do that anyway, so it did not bother me. Converting it into a bed is the part I was most curious about, because a lot of futons claim it is easy, and then you end up fighting the mechanism or needing two people. Here, it is genuinely straightforward. I can handle it without struggling, and it feels more like a smooth pull and fold motion than a complicated transform. When it lays flat, it becomes a simple sleeping surface that is easy to understand. There is a seam where it folds, and yes, you can feel that seam a bit depending on how you sleep, but it is not like a ridge that ruins the whole experience. If I throw a blanket down or add a thin topper, it feels even better. But even on its own, it is totally workable for guests. I have actually had someone sleep on it, and the feedback was what I hoped for. They said it was comfortable enough to get a good night of sleep, and they did not wake up sore. That is really the goal with a sofa bed in this category. It is not meant to replace a real mattress long term, but it should be good enough that you do not feel bad offering it to someone. For me personally, I have laid on it to test it, and I fit fine. I am a little over 6 feet tall, and I can stretch out without feeling cramped. That is a big deal because a lot of compact sleepers end up being too short in practice. Day to day, I have been using it in a few different ways. Sometimes it is my normal sitting spot for watching videos and reading. Sometimes I slide into a more relaxed lounge position, and when I need it, it turns into a bed without me rearranging the whole room. That versatility is the real performance story here. It is not about fancy features. It is about whether the couch stays comfortable, whether it converts easily, and whether it holds up when you actually use it like a normal person. I also paid attention to stability, because lightweight futons can sometimes feel wobbly. With the wooden legs on, mine feels stable on a flat floor. It does not feel like it is about to tip when I sit down on one side. When I convert it back into couch mode, it clicks into place in a way that feels secure. That little moment matters because it tells you the mechanism is seated properly, and you are not going to have it shift unexpectedly. There are a couple of small criticisms I think are worth saying out loud. Light gray fabric looks great, but it is the kind of color that will show dirt sooner than darker options. If you have pets or you snack on the couch a lot, you're going to want to stay on top of cleaning. The fabric feels nice, but I still treat it like a light-colored couch, meaning I am careful with jeans that might transfer dye, and I keep a throw nearby. Another thing is that if you are very sensitive to firmness, you might find it a bit firmer than a deep, plush living room sofa. I personally like that, because it helps it work as a bed too, but it is something to be aware of. One specific use case where this really shines is a home office that needs to double as a guest space. I have used it exactly that way. During the day, it looks clean and modern, and it gives you a nice spot to sit that is not an office chair. At night, if someone is staying over, it becomes a sleeping setup fast. Add a pillow and a blanket, and it is ready. I like that I do not have to keep an inflatable mattress around or clear out a bunch of floor space. What feels smart about it is not some complicated feature, it is the balance. The fabric feels pleasant, the footprint is manageable, the legs give it that finished look, and the conversion is easy enough that I will actually use it instead of avoiding it. That is the difference between a piece of furniture you tolerate and one you end up appreciating. So here is where I land after using it. If you want a stylish, compact couch that can realistically serve as a guest bed, and you care about it looking good in your space, this is a strong option. It is especially good for small homes, apartments, and multi-purpose rooms where every piece has to earn its keep. If you want a super plush, sink-in sofa, or you need something for nightly long-term sleeping, I would look at a dedicated sofa or a real bed. But for everyday sitting and occasional sleeping, this one does its job well, and it does it without feeling like a compromise. To learn more about the Mopio Modern Light Gray Futon Sofa Bed, please check the comments section. Thank you for watching.